Hey, it is Teresa, and today we are going to work on this box. It has hinges, and this is where I store ephemera pieces and stickers and all that good stuff. I have 2 of them already, but I want one for Halloween, fall, and Christmas. So before we start, a little bit of detail. My length right here is determined because of where I'm having it. So your length can be different. If you need a shorter one because your shelf space is shorter, you can do that. If you need a longer one because your shelf space is longer, do that. My width and height is due to these little things that I bought that I'm storing these in. They are 6.5 by 4.5. My mother found them. I will link them below. If I forget, please just reach out and let me know. And these hinges themselves, I think, I can't remember where I got them, but I know you can find them online on Amazon. I'll try to find something comparable and put it down below. This will be a 2-parter. So today we are just going to do the box, and then tomorrow, the next day, we will do the rest of it. So yeah, let's get crafting. Okay, so what you're gonna need: chipboard, glue. We won't need the paper for today, and your hinges and a cutter. So I've already pre-cut all of these. These are pre-cut, but some of these are bigger than what I like now. I made these a long time ago, and these are, I have no idea. I want to say they're 2 inches, but I'm not sure. Yeah, they're 2 inches. I like them smaller, so I actually make them 1.5 inches now. It really doesn't matter how wide you make these. Their purpose is the same. So, and I either score them or I just bend them. Let's see if I have. I don't think I have any that are not bent. They're not scored, but anyhow. So let's go over the measurements for this. And there's one part I did not cut because your front end has that little niche. So your bottom and top, you're going to need 2 at 7 by 9. And again, you can switch this depending on your depth and your width of what you want to hold, for it to hold. And the long sides, 9, because the length is 9, so you need it along the line 9 to fill it all. And then 5 is the height, and that was based on the height of what I'm using to hold my ephemera. And then the back and front pieces are cut at 7 by 5. And we will get to the front side in just a minute. And then you need your flap at 3 by 7, and you only need 1 of those. So the only 2 things you're cutting: 2 of the bottom, 2 of the sides, and 2 of the front and back, and 1 of the other. And what I write, and these instructions will be down below. So what I write on here when I'm doing it is I have 2 tops with the size I want, and let's just move them all together. And then my 2 sides. And then these are my other 2 sides, which can go over here. And then I have my front and back for one, front and back for the other. And I write on there what it is because I'll forget. And it's going to be covered with paper, so you're not going to be able to see it. And then your flat part, that is, will have this. It is one of those. So I'm going to set this aside because this is for the Christmas one I want to make. They're, the length I have it is for my, where I have it held. So anyways, we are going to take our front part, and with that, I'm gonna mark it with a pin first so you guys can get an idea. And then we'll go from there. So what I like to do on here, and I have it written on here, and if you can't understand it, I am so sorry. This is another good reason for doing the video. So then I'm going to cut 1.5 from the top, one side, and then both sides. So I'm going to take this and go 1.5 in, right? And then I am going to go down, then cut down 2.5, and then cut it across. So I'm going to take this is 1.5 in, and wait a minute, let's flip this around so I have my 2s. Okay, so we have 1.5, and we're going down to 2.5, which is right here. So let's go up, and it doesn't have to go all the way to 2.5. You can totally make it at 2. It's just my preference. And then I'm going to go to the other side, and it is exactly right there. And then what you're going to do is connect these lines right here. And this is what is going to get cut. I hope that makes sense. So I'll go over it one more time. You're gonna go down, you're gonna go over 1.5, over 1.5, and go down 2.5, and then you're gonna make your line. And this part is what you cut. And yes, I know I'm cutting my 5x7. And the fact that it says front, but the front part is cut, and you know that. So you can do it 2 ways. You can take a blade and cut it, or you could take a pair of scissors, and that's what I'm going to do, and just cut down, because I just don't, I'm not a perfect crafter, even with this kind of thing. Even though you have to be you have to be more precise in your build of the box. But this part, you really don't have to. And then, because I'm not going to get scissors in there, I am going to get my cutter. And I'm going to follow right on those lines. So I'm going to get this, and we are going to just tap it right there and follow that line. And there we go. There is your front. Pretty easy. So now what I'm going to do is start building this. So I like to start from the bottom. Oh, is this my one that's to the side? Yes, okay. We need to put that where I don't think I'm going to use it. So, again, all of the instructions will be down below, even for the paper. So you can cut your paper, and then when we start building the paper, we'll do that. The other thing I forgot to mention was you will need magnets, and I will have that down below with a link of the magnets I use, because I really like those magnets. So here we go. We want our bottom, and really they're the same size, doesn't matter, but that's what we're going to start with. We're going to start with our bottom, and our top and flap can go to the side. We don't need that for a bit. Okay, so we have our bottom, we have our sides, and we have our back, and we have our front. Now, you can tackle this 2 ways. One, you can start putting your hinge on this to cover it. I'm not going to do that. I'll do that later. So the first thing I'm going to do is this is going to get put right together. So, and as you can see, this is a little bigger. So what you can do is cut these down to 9. And I'm lazy, so I am just going to snip it. There we go. And because I need quite a few 9s, right? We are going to do 2, 4, and then 6, 8. So we're going to do 8 of these. Which, yes, it does take a lot of these black hinges. You can use duct tape. I've used duct tape before, but I like this better. And then I stack 2 at a time because I don't want them to go a little too crazy, right? And then there we go. And I will cut that. And then the other thing you're going to have to, okay, we're going to do that. So these sides are the first thing we're going to work on. So what I have used double-sided tape. Adhesive is totally your preference. I prefer glue. And I love the Berry Art glue because, you know, a lot of glue will warp your papers and warp stuff. Well, this, I have not had that issue. It will look like it's warped, and then when it's completely dry, it's not. So, all right. Here we go. And I have a bigger tip. They do have a smaller tip, but I use the bigger tip for this because it comes out faster, and I am that lazy crafting. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put this right on here, so it's going to completely cover that base, right? And now I'm going to put this, and I'm here to tell you the weight of these two are completely different. And then, yeah, they're different weights. So the bottom is 1 weight of chipboard, the side is 1 weight of chipboard, and when I'm done, you're really not going to be able to tell. Okay, and then because it's not stable, I will take this and see how it's a little bit exposed? No big deal. That will get covered with another piece of when we build it that way. So let's do the other side. And we are going to go right here. So yeah, we are, everything's good. I'm loving having my children home. My amazing kids take good care of me. Right now we're trying to do the whole, just because mom is, you know, not going to live a nice long life, does not mean that you shouldn't try to go about your adult life and get stuff going. So I am giving them little, okay, today you have this, today you have this, all for they can work on that, because I would love to be able to see them thrive in adulthood before I'm gone. So we will see how that works. But right now we are paying my son to be my caregiver, and basically takes me to my chiropractic appointment. So when I get acupuncture, chiropractic adjustment, and a massage, he takes me there, and then he'll take me to the pool and make me my lunch when I'm too tired and can't do it, which is most days because fatigue is real and it sucks. Yeah, you think when you get older, that's what you have to deal with, but having a fibro and then having ALS on top of it, man, you're mortally messed up from it, but that's okay. It's all good. Right now we're in the process of rewatching The Rookie because my daughter never saw it, and now that she's home from college, we are introducing her to it, and she's really enjoying it. Can't wait for the new season because boy did they leave that with a cliffhanger. Oh, so I'm getting ready for my, they say make your bucket list. I'm getting ready for my bucket list, which I don't have a big bucket list, but because I really realized that yes, there's things in life I want, but see how that stands up? That's how it works. It's the start of your boxes. So I don't have a big bucket list because the majority of what I want to do is just spend time with my family and friends and extended family and all that. So right now, my first bucket list is to go to Disneyland one more time with my younger sister, and that is happening at the beginning of next month. So we're excited. Okay, so these down ones are 7 wide. So we are going to go and cut this to 7. And we need 4. You go through a lot of these, so when you're cutting your hinges, I would start with at least 5 papers and cut them, because these boxes are a little addicting. And so with that, they're addicting. And okay, one more. And then you want these to go 5 up because that's the height of that. So the next ones we're going to do is 5 up, and we need 2, 4, 6, 8 of those. And at the end, if you wind up just having a bunch of little scraps like this, guess what? You can use those. You can take these scraps and do 1.5 up or something, And these are 12 by 12 papers, so these are cut out of. So that's one corner. Now we're at a point where these are not as sturdy, but that's okay. And we're going to start folding those. I just want to get all these chopped up. So there we go. Okay. Now we are going to to just fold along that line. I used this in my, I don't remember what it is, but hold on. Thank you. Whew. All that drippage. Okay, I need that there so it can prevent dripping more. So see how these are a little bit smaller? I like them a little bit smaller. These are a little bit more smaller than what I like, but really it doesn't matter. So it is 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Oh no, they're both right there. Okay, I didn't. Oops, I have 2. So, yeah, I've really been enjoying having my kids home. It's been 4 years, but they really need a job, so it's hard nowadays to get a job. Nadia, my oldest, is having a hard time finding a job in her career choice for school. Okay, so we are going to put these aside. Go along. And now I'm going to, this is for the top part of this, which we'll do later. So we're going to work on this one. So I'm going to, it doesn't matter which is your top, which is your bottom, you know, front, side, all that. Not until you start putting the front and back on it. So we're okay. And we are going to go up right here and give this a really good rub. And now I'm going to take this and here we go. So we're going to take one of these and put them in there, and then we're going to build these sides up. Is the next step. So I do the bottom, the sides, and then the back, and then I build these sides up, and then I do the front. And then I do the top part. And then I'll show you how I do the hinge part, because that's a little different. Like these, the top of it. The hinges go on a little different. Not big difference, but they do. Okay, so now I am going to take this and just you can see how that kind of is extra. That's okay. That's going to get hidden. So now we're going to take our back, and see, these will fit perfect right there. They're a little bit up, but that's okay. Like, you can put that up and you can still see. This is why we have gaps on the bottom, how long they are, to help hide the other stuff. Let me show you on the side. So when putting this on, if I put it down to the bottom of this like this, I have a little bit of a gap. So what I'm going to do is have this go all the way up to the top. And see the little bit right here, it's still covered. because of this black. So, and we're going to put paper on it and you will never know. Unless you're very particular OCD crafter like my best friend. She's totally an OCD crafter, and we craft so differently, but I love it. There are some times where I am like cutting these, I kind of have to be sometimes. So, okay. Now we're gonna, and of course we're gonna go up, put that right there, and go down. There we go. So now we're going to do the inside, and that is not the right one. And see how this, like, I don't know if you can tell, but that goes up a little. That's okay. I'll just snip it and make it go over. So, I mean, you have to be pretty precise for the boxes, especially when you're building a lid. Did I not do this? Yep, there we go. Okay. And see, here's the start of how the box is going to look. Now, I just take my thumb, and I will either cut that off, or just make it go around. And to me, that just makes it a little bit more sturdier, you know? Okay. So now that you know how to do the basics of this, let's just chat. So I am learning I have way too much stuff. way too much stuff. That my, so, because this is the smallest craft area I have ever had. So hint, the making of the boxes, all that, I really have to be like very anal organized, or else, oh my gosh. Especially when it comes to a point where I will be in a wheelchair. This isn't a big space. So I have to be able to have it to where everything is organized and off the floor, so I can still get to everything. So let's just say I'm gonna have to get rid of quite a bit of stuff. So when I get to that point, I'm probably just gonna start sending out Happy Mail to people, because I'd rather it go to people who are going to craft and use it. So, or I might just put goodie things together and sell it that way. I've been debating about starting up and selling stuff to help pay for medical bills. But that's okay. Just for the sheer fact, like, save up for when I need 24-hour care. Because I don't know if I will be able, like, I don't know the insurance thing, and there's just a lot of different stuff involved. But that's okay, right? There we go. So now I just need to put the inside in, and then we will have something that looks like a box. So fun. I love making these. Good thing too, because hello, I need quite a bit. I think I'm going to make a few more. Why pay for it if you have all of the, see, and see how hard that is right now to get in? So you just go and like literally just snip the corner just a little, and then it'll be fine. Oh, okay, I didn't cut enough off, but that's okay. It is all good. And give it all a good squish. And now we're going to put the outside and inside of these together. And the ones I'm using now are skinnier, are not as thick, but they will still work, because after you put your paper on, it's really not going to matter. I have done one similar to this, and this is where the idea came from, is I made ones that were like this with the opening lid a lot smaller, so it can be for in the kitchen to hold recipes, and it worked great. And I just went to go visit a friend who has one, and it's still good as can be in her kitchen. So like, they last a while. And that one I actually used tape, not glue. But that is about how. There we go. Okay, I'm going to need to fill this up in a minute. I just need to figure out where I put it. Everything is still like everywhere, so like I'm having a hard time finding stuff. But that's okay. One more, and then, oops, wrong way. That's okay. Let's go this way. I'll just move it the other way. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we are going to add our top part. So we are going to glue this. And this is going to go right on here and literally covering all that up. So it just gives it a good finish. And this is where I might use, like, I know there's finishing tapes and duct tapes and all that you can add, but I just would rather do it this way, because this is how I know. So I'm going to start making videos and not edit a whole lot, just because editing is very exhausting, and yeah, I just don't have that much time left, so it's not going to happen. So here's where we're going to piece this back part. Which is fine. Okay, so go right up to that edge and go down. And it's okay if it overlaps. Here we go. If you don't like it overlapping, play with your pieces. Go, okay, well, we can do that. And then we can do, you know, you have a bunch of scraps in here, play with them. But I don't really care if they overlap, so. Here we go. So now we just need to do this top part, and want to make sure these fit. So look, that just needs a little trim. So we are just going to trim just a little hair of that off. Try it, see if that will work. That works perfect. Glue it down. Hopefully I can get all this done before I have to replace the glue in there, so we will see. Here we go. And then for these, you just kind of like play with your, like I have tons of pieces in here. So just figure out what's what, like you can cut that. This can go on first, like I'll, look at that. And that needs a little trim. So let's make sure. There we go. I cut it a little wonky, but that's okay. The others will hide it. Here we go. And if you want, you can just take it, make a little line. As you see, there's that little line right there. Try to get it as good as possible and glue that. And there we go. There we go. How long has this been going on? Oh, that's a long video. Okay, I'm going to do the other part in a different video because that's long. Okay. Now, as you can see, that will fit just fine right there. I don't care about that little bit showing. If you do, don't do it this way. So while I finish this, thank you for joining me. I hope this is a good tutorial. Please, if you like it, give it a thumbs up so I know how to make more content this way. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you for joining me. Bye.